this year's TAG president.
And I'm Briana Lindsay, Public Relations for TAG.
Today we're here to introduce the annual service project.
TAG and Hall Hagen hope to benefit the NICU this season.
Hi guys, I'm introducing our theater department winter service project for this year. As you know, last year we benefited the Center for Women and Children in Crisis, and we were able to donate in gift cards and cash over $1,000 to them, which was an incredible accomplishment. This year, when I was thinking about what I wanted us to benefit, I started thinking about doing something that's kind of personal to me, and that is benefiting the newborn intensive care unit at Utah Valley Regional Medical Center. So this year we're running a drive to come up with goods and gifts for the Common Bonds Parent Support Network for the NICU, and that's a organization that gives gifts and support to the parents who have children and newborns in the NICU and kind of supports them through a difficult time. So our job is going to be coming up with really great stuff to donate to them, which we'll talk about a little later, in order to kind of brighten people's day and make the best of a hard time. We thought one of the things that might help personalize this a little bit is to tell you about my experiences in the NICU and just make it a little closer to home. So as most of you know, I was pregnant in the fall semester, and the plan was that I would come back in the spring and give birth to my baby in February, at the end of February. And probably for most of you, you just found out at the first company call that I had indeed had my baby early, but she was born at 32 weeks. Due to high blood pressure and restricted growth, and it was a really scary situation and not something that I expected at all. It was a normal doctor's appointment one morning, and then by the afternoon I was in the operating room with no family in town, just friends who were there for me. And when Nora was born, she weighed 2 pounds, 11 ounces. She was tiny, a fighter from the beginning, I'd like to note, but really small, and it was a shock. It was a big shock, because most of the time you think, the odds are that everything will be fine. The odds are women have healthy babies every day, and you don't really expect it to happen to you. I know I never dreamed that something like that would happen to me. And I remember going to see her for the first time in the NICU, and they let us lift her up, and you could fit her just in your hands like this, and she was so small. And I remember just the shock of being told, you can't, you shouldn't talk to her or touch her too much because she won't be used to it, she won't be able to process it, and it's incredibly hard as a new mother not to be able to hold your child or talk to your child or indeed bring them home with you. So after 4 days of me in the hospital, I had to go home without her, and that was the beginning of basically shuttling back and forth between my home and the hospital. So we spent 6.5 weeks with Nora in the NICU, and she had some ups and downs. There were nights we weren't sure she'd make it. There were days that were, had huge accomplishments. And overall, the NICU became like a family to us. And the motto there is the NICU is home. And they really found a way to do that in terms of serving you meals or giving gifts or introducing you to other parents or giving you a place to sleep for the night so that you don't have to be away from your baby for the whole night. And when we finally brought her home, I feel like we really created some connections there. And every year they have a NICU reunion, which we got to go to for the first time this year and see all the nurses who helped us so much. And I think overall the thing that I learned is that the NICU and having a preemie can be for a lot of reasons, and it doesn't pick just the people who can handle it. Having an early baby can happen to anyone at any time, and these are people who need the support and need the love and to know that people are thinking about them, and that in some way their experience of having a baby is still going to be joyous and normal and exciting. And one thing that helps with that is the Common Bonds Network that we're benefiting this year. Now, having told that story, I thought you all might like to see what came out of it. This is Miss Nora Marion the Great, our gift, our precious baby. I don't mind saying it. So the day she was born, New Year's Eve, December 31st, 8 weeks before she was due, our very first time in the NICU, one of the things we got was a little gift at our bedside, which was a parent's survival pack, which had, hand sanitizer and snacks and a little notebook to write down things that the doctors were telling you, and just like little things to keep you going. So that's what Common Bonds does, and that's what we're going to help with. Each week that your baby's in the NICU, they put a different gift by your bedside. So the first week it's a parent survival kit. I think the second week you get a burp cloth, which we still have ours. Onesies, quilts, blankets, little accessories for the babies to dress them up. And it was just one of the best parts of being there is seeing these little gifts by our bedside. So that's what we are gathering. What do you think? Sounds good?
Food for parent kits, small bottles of hand sanitizer, gender-specific wearables such as hats, hair bows, shoes, and onesies.
Quilts and baby blankets, baby bath kits, burp cloths.